How's it going, Knights? Welcome back to another episode of The Studio. On today's show, we visit Schnepp Farms Chili Festival, check in with the varsity football team, and get behind the scenes at Mr. Perazzo's YouTube channel. Stay tuned because an all-new episode of The Studio starts right now.
Anchors, editors, directors, and the technical crew. Long ago, the four groups worked together in harmony. Then, everything changed when school moved online. Only Mr. Nuttall, leader of the studio, can reunite them. But when the school needed him most, we were all behind screens. Many months passed and a new class entered the studio, an amazing crew. And although their skills are great, they have to work hard before they can release anything. But we believe they can produce the best show ever.
Good morning, Knights. I'm Kaylee Bristol. Beginning the 2020 school year online was a challenge, and while many students were prepared for this change, it was equally as difficult for our teachers. Caden and Connor recently caught up with Mr. Perazzo to learn more about his creative and entertaining strategy for distance learning.
Online learning has become a new norm for students last year when school was canceled due to the pandemic. Rather than just teaching in front of a PowerPoint, an English teacher here at Higley had a very interesting approach to online teaching. We met up with Mr. Perazzo to learn how his love for video making has affected the way he taught online.
I came to making videos on YouTube back when I was in Utah, and I taught a board game design class, and one of the things I needed to teach my students was how to play some games, such as Settlers of Catan. This is the game of Scotland Yard. In Scotland Yard, 3 players are going to be taking the role as a detective. And so what I did was I created YouTube videos of me explaining how to play those games so that they could look at the YouTube videos, learn how to play, and come prepared for class the next day. Bus tokens and put it over there. So now the detectives know we use the taxi and the bus, okay?
While many teachers have also made YouTube channels to help out their students, one thing that sets Mr. Perazzo apart is his process for making these videos.
So my process for making YouTube videos is first I have an idea of like the topic I want to teach. Then I usually come up with some sort of spin on it or some sort of way to convey it. And so then at the end, right, I maybe sometimes add background music until everything kind of gets tied together. And so that's kind of my process.
JK, rolling.
A lot of the videos on Mr. Perazzo's channel took quite a bit of effort, so we wanted to know why he chose to do this.
Man, traditional online teaching style, boring, man. You gotta get the visuals and the videos and stuff. Like when you're teaching in front of a class, you're like, oh my gosh, I know a perfect video clip that would fit with this. But like by that time, you don't have time to like go to the computer, like pull up your projector, all this kind of stuff. Online teaching though, dude, it's a snap. It's so simple. You're just like, oh, I want to show you this video. Bam, get on there. So when I create these YouTube videos, I take all these elements, all these ideas I have of, oh, this clip from this video would make perfect sense to explain this topic, and I'm able to compile them all together into one YouTube video.
They say that if you love what you do, you don't work a single day in your life. And it seems like Mr. Perazzo is doing just that. This is Connor and Caden reporting for The Studio.
Hey Knights, I'm Connor Bosworth. Last Thursday and Friday was picture day. Underclassmen filed in through the gym for their portraits, while seniors got all dressed up and headed to the media center for theirs. One thing's for certain, everyone's gonna look great in this year's yearbook.
Fall has officially begun, and if you're like me, then you already know that fall is the best season for food and family. Christelle and Vanessa caught up with Ashley Burley to learn more about her family's seasonal traditions.
With fall approaching, we talked to a fellow Knight about a very special fall treat she has as a tradition every year.
I'll be making pumpkin cake, and it makes me feel nostalgic because it reminds me of being a kid in fall.
The original fall flavor. It's what you see in the stores when you go out. It's what you smell at coffee shops or in bakeries when you walk by, because immediately fall is all the time pumpkin. In my opinion, I think it should be all year, so. I think my favorite thing is carving pumpkins because for some reason I was really good at it. Like the craftsmanship, the little tiny knives that come in the package and then they just like break all the way and then your mom's like, all right, you can have the big knife now. And it's like, yay, this is the one time my mom trusts me with the big knife. So I like pumpkins.
This season brings me and my family together because I have family that come in from Idaho, and every time they come we make this cake for them.
I think also like one thing that helps about fall is like So I'm from the South, I'm from Alabama, and so during fall season is football season, so that definitely brings my family together. Everybody around us is having an Alabama shirt on. We make sure our shopping list and everything we do, it doesn't involve with football, so we can all come home and watch football together. So I am feeling like warm, but also with like a light breeze coming in from like the west. I'm smelling things. Yeah, that is what fall is to me, okay? Like, that's how I feel it is.
This has been Christelle and Vanessa. Peace out.
The past 7 months of quarantine have definitely been rough. Even now that we're back at school, we're having to take a lot of precautions in order to stay safe and healthy. Lucy and Sydney talked with a few members of the varsity football team to find out how COVID-19 has affected the team's progress this season.
Hey Knights, it's Lucy and Sydney. We caught up with the football team to see how their season's coming along.
I am the free safety, so I'm the guy that's all the way back on the defense. Basically, my job is to let nobody score and let nobody catch a ball if I'm in the area. This will be my 4th year now playing for Higley football.
I'm a linebacker, so all I do is hit people for fun, basically. I play for Higley for 2 years.
I play receiver, so I run routes, catch the ball. This will be my 4th year playing.
My coach is Baker. He's a linebacker coach.
Coach Zuby is the head coach and defensive coordinator. Wesley is the receivers coach.
Coach Large, who is the head offensive coordinator.
With the global pandemic occurring, is this going to affect your season?
It's affected us pretty heavily. We got our season pushed back about a month, and we couldn't do a spring ball or summer ball. It got all canceled, and we had to sit out for quite a bit. We had a long off season.
It's affected us a lot. I mean, we can't be in the locker room with the younger kids, like JV and freshmen. We have to wait until they get out.
We can't even shake hands after the game. It's all really changed, but you know, we're doing the best we can. And we're really not allowed to be anywhere else than with the team, and we can't even interact with audience or parents after the game. We have to wait.
Like the precautions, like on the bus ride there, I mean, we have to wear a mask and we have to bring our own water, but when we get on the field, it's just normal.
With this in mind, how do you guys think your season will go?
It's hard to say. We've never, there's a lot of teams we've never played before, but you know, I'm pretty confident with our team, and we're gonna go and do our best.
We got moved up to 6A this year, meaning we play a lot more difficult teams, but I mean, it hasn't really affected us. Like, our mentality is the same.
Based on, you know, how we played so far, I think we're doing pretty good. We could step it up and do a little bit better.
It's great, it's hopeful. We're all unified, we're all having a good time. We're all trying to make the best out of what we have.
Good luck on your season, guys. This is Sydney and Lucy reporting for the studio.
Last Friday, varsity football played Desert Ridge and completely dominated. Tonight, the guys take on Chandler High School at home. This is a huge game that you won't want to miss. Student section theme is USA, but remember, be patriotic, not political.
Recently, Company Theater performed the 7 stages of quarantine. Students delivered monologues on the effects that quarantine had on them. If you missed the performance, don't worry, Knights. Company Theater will perform War of the Worlds next Friday, so be sure to check it out.
One of the few activities that people still enjoyed during quarantine was hiking. Sean and Hayden hit the trail to talk to a few avid hikers.
This year has been especially difficult for those who try to stay active. We visited Santan Mountains to see how people still enjoy physical activity during the pandemic.
I'm out here hiking because I hike every other day, and I usually hike the other side of the hill there and do the Gold Mine Trail, but I wanted to do something different today, so I came here.
My parents are visiting us, came in town, and we wanted to show them Arizona and the beauty it holds.
My main goal in hiking is hiking the Grand Canyon. To do that, you got to stay in shape. That's my motivation.
There's a lot of long trails that don't include the Grand Canyon, but I do plan to do that. But you gotta bring a tent and, you know, a lot of other stuff, not just a slow pack. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it. It's a long way.
Being prepared can make or break your time on the trails. The people we spoke to made sure to make their recommendations on what to bring.
Sweet and salty kind of treats, because you gotta have salt, you gotta have water.
Some good footwear that's sturdy and covers their toes, and hopefully isn't brand new pair of shoes.
Wear really good shoes. Don't skimp on shoes or socks.
Even though it's cooling off, these hikers all made sure to bring one thing.
Some water.
Lots of water.
Water, number 1. Number 2, water. Number 3, water.
My wife and I love doing hikes with waterfalls that involve rivers and waterfalls and stuff, so we've had some really fun hikes that way. And more than once I've fallen down a waterfall or two, nothing too lethal obviously, but it's still plenty of fun.
If you want the benefits of physical activity while staying safe, give hiking a try.
This has been Hayden Forwalk and Sean Trainer reporting for The Studio.
This Wednesday, Best Buddies had their very first lunch party of the year. It was a lot of fun for everyone as they spent some quality time getting to know each other and participating in awesome activities in the amphitheater.
Plenty of students at Higley have unique talents, and Matthias Beatty is no exception. Mikey and Eric caught up with him to learn about his passion for computers.
Matthias Beatty is a junior here at Higley who discovered his passion for computers after building one from scratch. Following his success, he plans to continue improving his computer with time, practice, and hard work.
What first got me into computers was like YouTube videos, honestly. Seeing videos of people building their computers and also having like a knack for wanting to do something, have a little hobby. Also, computers are just a good way to like play video games or whatever in my spare time.
Despite his love for computers, he explained to us why this hobby just isn't for everyone.
It's not really suitable for everyone. It's a pretty expensive hobby. You have to have like enough money to be able to get into it. But there are some budget options you can get into. You can also get something like a preset or a pre-built computer, and then you can start from there and just upgrade your parts.
Considering the restrictions caused by the pandemic, we were curious to know why he believes building a computer is a great solution to the limitations on social interaction.
On a daily basis, I use my computer for video games, homework, and just messing around. I have a lot of things like Photoshop and video editors that I like to mess around with. I also talk with my friends pretty much all the time on my computer as well, because it's a great way to interact with them, especially during quarantine or this pandemic. We can just communicate without actually having to be next to each other and potential of us catching the disease.
While it may seem challenging, building a computer from scratch is a rewarding experience that teaches a variety of valuable skills to last a lifetime. Reporting for The Studio, this is Eric and Mikey.
Next week is our big rival football game against Williamsfield. The theme of the game will be blackout, so make sure to get your Cage the Hawk shirt from the Armory for only $5 all next week and wear it to the game.
DECA is collecting shoes as a fundraiser. The shoes you donate will go to small businesses in third world countries to resell to their communities. Make sure to get together some of your old shoes to bring in.
Over the next few weeks, students will be participating in an activity called Assassins. Students form teams and are given targets that they need to find and spray with water. We'll be keeping a close eye on the competition to see who will come out on top.
With Halloween right around the corner, there are plenty of fun ways to make the most of the season. Kaylee set her sights on the fall festival going on at Schnepp Farms. Let's take a look.
The Pumpkin and Chili Party is an annual event held at Schnepp Farms. It offers amazing food and fun attractions for the whole family, such as rides and live music. So I decided to go and see what it's all about.
I've known the Schnepps for 10 plus years, and when they announced that they were hiring again for the Chili Fest, I assumed that it would be like one of those jobs that I would just love automatically. I like talking to people, I like interacting, I like having people come in and leave happier than they came in. I run the candy shop. I stock, fill, and create prices. This is my little store. It's my little home here at work.
Schnepp Farms has a lot of exciting things to offer, so I wanted to see why this is the perfect event for the whole family.
Like age-wise, I would say that it has a good variety of like adult activities and shops with a well mix of like kids stuff. Like for example, like my store caters to everyone. I don't know a single person of any age that doesn't like candy. And then there's the rides there's adult rides, there's kid rides, especially during Halloween time with the spooky everything, and it allows a bigger variety of people to come, people that enjoy Halloween, people that like being scared, people that want to put themselves out there and enjoy it. After 6:30 is when it kind of gets busier. Everything lights up, it's fun, it's all done for a good price as well, considering that you buy a ticket and you have access to everything. I'd recommend people coming just because it's fun and interactive. There's pets that you can feed and pet, there's vegetables that you can pick, there's corn mazes, there's all sorts of fun activities that allow people to enjoy at any time of the year.
The Pumpkin and Chili Party is happening every night from October 1st to November 1st, and tickets are $23 per person. Make sure to buy your tickets online at pumpkinandchiliparty.com/ticketing. This is Kaylee Bristol signing off from the studio. Well, Knights, that's all we have for you this time. We'll be back next week with a very spooky Halloween episode of The Studio.